Excuse me, but this area...
I'm Nijima from the public prosecutor's.
The prosecutor's office?
Just let me through. It's urgent. There's something I need to confirm.
Nijima-san, I believe this case is no... Besides...
You prosecutor-san Nijima? There's a call from your direct. Hurry and get it over with. To be frank, you're being an inconvenience.
I thought I ordered you to
I'm responsible for this case, yet I'm not even being...
I'm calling because I knew you'd bring it up.
I will not be convinced unless I confirm it for myself. This is my case.
Good luck. I won't be expecting much.
Prosecutor, I forgot. Your time will be cut short. We can't permit you to talk with him. It's for your own sake. His methods are unknown. After all, we don't even know if it's safe to simply meet.
I understand.
Well done on... Now that you have traversed your long parallel... The effects of that drug are gonna wear off. This is your golden opportunity. You must grasp the truth that will save you from... The evil influence who wishes you dead is fast approaching. If you want to win this unreasonable game... If you wish to take back your stolen future... Recall the bonds you formed with your allies... And grasp the truth that will save you from the...
I see. So that's what led to your... What a disappointing end to the hero. I still can't believe it. But I now have a general idea of the methods you used for your crime. There's much more I'd like to ask, but my allotted time... I do have a suggestion, though. Care to strike a deal? If you cooperate with me, I'll consider lightening your sentence. I have a responsibility to solve this case. I will win. Even if it means your operation was leaked and you failed to change my heart. There's no point in being... You've corrupted the order of this country and caused an uprising against its very... You'll most likely be given life imprisonment or the death penalty. Going forward, I will read a list of people who are closest to you and this case. Tell me honestly whether or not the following are involved with the Phantom Thief. First, the friend who you've been with since the day you one of the victims of the Kamoshida case. Ichiryusai Madarame's pupil, Yusuke Kitagawa. The daughter of Wakaba Ishiki, Futaba Sakura. The heiress to the Okumura Foods legacy and daughter of its CEO, and the frequently probing student council president of Shujin Academy. Those are your accomplices in the Phantom Thieves case, are... So you won't sell out your friends. Then let me change the question. I find it hard to believe that high schoolers could have pulled off these crimes by themselves. Were there not others outside of your direct group who encouraged your crimes or lent their aid? Not to repeat myself, but remember that your life will be forfeit if your sentence is not... You had the cooperation of people outside your group, did you not? Can you tell me about them? So you won't speak a word about either your teammates or your collaborators. Do you even understand the position that you're... Let's discuss one other person. Goro Akechi. There are reports that he was acting alongside the Phantom Thieves as... Might he be a part of your team too? So Goro Akechi wasn't one of you. So be it. You clearly have no intention of... Even now, you're still acting as though you're a hero of justice. Your teammates have sacrificed you in order to escape, yet why won't you talk about them? Don't be ridiculous! You're not the one to... Justice? Then tell me, what is... Saving others? What an awfully simple you continue to stand firm. You're right. We have nothing. And it doesn't help that your story sounds like a fairy tale. But many people have fallen victim to this. We need to learn the truth. The truth, huh? I don't even know what's right anymore. And it's... After all this, you're still... Are you listening? The side effects of the truth serum should be wearing off. I won't be deceived by such a poor act.
You realized it too then. It was our conversation about pancakes, right? There's no way he could have reacted like that if he hadn't heard me.
Hey, can you hear me? It seems your mind is clearing up. But unfortunately, my time has run out. Although I find your story to be quite interesting, I won't be able to speak with you any longer. Huh? What are you getting at? That's right. No matter the results of this case, I won't be... I even had to call in a large favor just to conduct this interrogation.
So, how did that thing we asked you? Nijima mentioned a special interrogation room, didn't she? Good. It looks like we can make this work if we lure them there.
Hey, are you listening? Our time's up. We're done talking. Goodbye. Do you mean this interrogation room? Why wouldn't I know about it? What an odd... Anyhow, there's one last thing I want to ask you. There's something that's been bothering me for some... Recently, I was removed from my post as head of this investigation and was told a short while later I received word you were caught in the act, within some bizarre phenomenon. But that was all I was told. You were told someone sold you out, correct? If that's true, who could it have been?
The suspicions were true in the end. Still, to think his true intention was to sell. All that's left is to figure out a way to hand it over. It's all up to you, leader. The smartphone, duh. We've been talking about it this whole time. Giving him the phone without arousing suspicion will be easier said than done. We'll be counting on you to pull...
What's wrong? Might you have an idea as to who sold you out? Yes, very well. If you know something, you must tell me. I won't allow things to end like this. You mean this? I've been told the lock on it is quite complicated, but it's only a matter of time until it... What's so important about this smart... Are you going to unlock it and show me the data?
Let's let her sleep. She hasn't slept for days while she's been getting that app ready. Now we gotta figure out a way to show him the phone. Makoto and the others should have told you. I'm talking about the true culprit here. You know, the...
Hey! What are you trying to get at here? And what about this smartphone? The true culprit?
We could say he stole the guard's gun and committed suicide during his imprisonment. How about that? Public security questioning will occur on the first day. And with that room, my task will be simple. And thus, the dangerous criminal responsible for the mass mental...
Please. I need you to be clear with me. Who am I supposed to show? What do you... My God. You're referring to him, aren't you? What are you plotting? I can't even begin to But it appears my time is up. This is as far... This will be my last involvement with this case. Very well. I've listened to your whole story, so I may as well play along to the... And that honest look in your eyes. I used to view the world the same. I'll place my bet on you. I just need to show him the phone, right?
Thy vow hast awakened to the ultimate secret of judgment, granting thee infinite...
All right. All right.
I'll be going. What good will this do, though? A Ketchikun?
Why do you seem so surprised?
I needed my director to step in to get access, and I was directly responsible. How did you get approval?
For the same reason you did. I am heading up the investigation team after all. It's only natural I'd have the right to interrogate our culprit as well, don't you think?
They assigned you?
That was a joke, of course. I'm merely here to assist with the public security interrogation. I am surprised it's this far underground, though. There aren't any others incarcerated here. Nobody would ever know if things got a little violent.
If I remember correctly, didn't you say there was another culprit besides the Phantom Thieves?
That was but a lie I spread to set them up. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that I had deceived you too, Sai-san. After all, if you wish to trick your enemies, you must first trick your...
So it was you. You're the one who sold out the Phantom Thieves. I need you to be clear with me. My God. You're referring to...
Is there a problem?
Akechi-kun, does this phone look familiar?
Excuse me? What is this phone?
It belonged to the leader of the Phantom Thieves. I believe you'll need it for your investigation.
Not personally. I was acting alongside the Phantom Thieves myself, remember?
True. This is undoubtedly a great accomplishment. Good luck in there.
Foolish woman. May I ask that you accompany me? Going in unarmed to interrogate a murderer makes me
Huh? What are you...
I owe you for all of this. That's right. You and your little friends were vital to our plan. And now it will be completed. Your popularity truly was quite stunning. That just made using you all the more worth... Have you finally pieced it all together? Case closed. This is how your justice ends. Shido-san.
I've told you not to call me by name. Regardless, all that's left.
The continued deaths of these teenagers would be a bit much, don't you think? I considered making it appear they had a falling out, but that would only amplify public frenzy. It would be best to have each of them meet with an unfortunate accident.
Is there any possibility they'll want to avenge their leader?
No chance. They're nothing but cattle anyway. I will keep my eye on them just in case.
I'll be counting on you.
They will live their lives cowering in fear of death. An apt punishment for obstructing.
Make sure to kill that strange cat once you find it as well.
Understood. Though I doubt there's anything to worry about. It's merely a cat.
More importantly, they should be dealing with the suicide right about now. Things will become quite busy once the word gets out. I'll need to prepare my comments on the matter.
I must be prepared to deal with it on my end as well. Beyond that, what of the director of the special?
Perhaps he'll be struck by a mysterious illness sometime soon.
No. Even me.
What was all that about, showing him this? The Phantom Thief Alibaba? Who?
I am Alibaba, a member of the Phantom Thieves. I inquire as to your justice.
How do they know I have this?
Goro Akechi is evil. He didn't come to interrogate the captured Phantom Thief. He came to kill him.
We could say he stole the guard's gun and committed suicide during his imprisonment. Yes, the guard will be one of ours. We'll have to eliminate him after to destroy the evidence.
Don't trust the guard either. He's an accomplice as well. Now then, I'll tell you detailed steps to take. You must save him.
You want me to... What is it?
Anyway, what brings you here?
Did anyone else stop? Nobody?
There'd be no reason for anyone else to...
Yes, the guard will be one of ours. We'll have to eliminate him after to destroy the evidence, though.
So it's all true.
Of course it's true. It's
Akechi-kun. He had to take a sudden call, so he won't be able to make it down today.
Huh?
I've been asked to handle things instead.
But...
You know, if you stay here, they'll likely get rid of you to eliminate any evidence. I suggest you go into hiding at once if you value your life.
Yes.
And don't say a word of what transpired here. Trust nobody. Forget this ever.
And now we return to our continued report. This morning, the police have announced that they've detained a suspect who may in fact be the leader of the Phantom Thieves group. The suspect is reported to be a young
John,
man who is...
can I get you to look over here?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So he got caught. That group sure was something.
Yeah.
So the next shoot got me thinking. How about we have you do an idol thing, you know? That cool?
What a surprise. To figure the one behind all this is just a minor. And considering how quickly they announced his arrest, the police must surely be confident in the outcome of this case.
Well, I'll be. Goodness, look at you now. It's been a while, Ryuji.
Huh?
You stopped visiting so abruptly, everyone was worried about you. It's your second year, right? Are you still doing track and field? I'd love to see you run again.
Also, the young man continues to remain silent, refusing to implicate any potential accomplices. However, considering the number of charges brought against him...
I wonder if something happened.
Yeah.
You seemed stumped for once. Not feeling it today?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not chiding you. Just do as normal at your own pace. With your skills, there's no need to worry about your future.
Normal. Right.
He's just a high school student. How do you think he was contacting the others?
The police here can search any online communications. His accomplices may slip up eventually.
Still, it seems the Phantom Thieves' most recent targets have gone comatose. Actual harm has been done here.
Given the lack of physical violence, their method is still a mystery. Regardless, the police are looking into attempted murder charges.
You never turned it in? That's quite the surprise. I thought I lost it this whole time.
I'm sorry.
Well, your grades are excellent. And you're student council president. I'm sure you'll be admitted anywhere you apply. That one Phantom Thief should have followed your example. You hear? It seems he was caught. Some high schooler. I wonder why he turned to a life of crime.
We also received information that the young man was placed on probation for assault.
Because of his previous record, he had to leave his hometown. Perhaps his motive lies there.
I believe your father can rest in peace now. That Phantom Thief could never have changed anything. Only a handful of people are qualified to alter the world. So you've been coming home late. That's what I've heard. I make a good playmate, you know.
We have breaking news. The young man being held in custody has committed suicide. The police have confirmed his death, although details have not been released. To repeat, the suspect has committed suicide while in custody. This station will continue to report any further updates as they arrive.
It would be difficult to uncover his methods now. Perhaps that's why he decided to take this course of action.
It can't be.
You're shitting me. We got him.
It would seem as though you have been killed. But why were you killed? Why did you have to die? Do you remember? It seems you forgot an important fact while you're Indeed, your death was a necessity for your escape from certain doom. What a tremendous... How might you be capable of executing such a... Well then, let us rouse the memories...
Hey, they're... You realized it too, then. It was our conversation about pancakes, right? There's no way he could have reacted like that if he hadn't heard me. My thoughts exactly. It was your social studies trip. We met him in the hallway of that TV station. There's no way that this is the first time This whole deal feels sketchy. Yeah. It's impossible not... Okay. Let's get everyone on the same page. One more person, if it's possible. I want to eavesdrop on their phone. That'll be... I agree. I'd have to plant a bug directly on the phone. So it's impossible even... I didn't say it was impossible. That's... Don't worry, I'll tell you the details later. This is gonna be fun.
I see. So we're going to use this place.
It'll be a gamble.
I think it's gonna work. You can't tell a thing.
It seems you finally remember. This game is not over. There are still things that
Hey, are you all right? Don't fall asleep until we reach our destination. Are you listening?
Are you listening? You weren't paying attention? Well, I guess I can see how you'd be Anyway, we need to talk about how to get out of this.
Futaga's monitoring of Akechi's phone has confirmed it. He did indeed have an ulterior...
It's on a completely different...
Not only was he trying to frame us, but he was the true culprit behind the mental shock. His offer to assist us was simply a ploy to frame the Phantom Thieves. And if we go into Sis's palace, as he suggests, we'll likely be met by a large ambush of...
To think he would be this far gone. I know now what it means to feel it. Furthermore, he wishes to bring a police squad from reality into the palace.
If the 8 of us can enter at once, it's not inconceivable to think a larger group is possible. He may even be able to bring in vehicles.
So, this really was just a setup to shift the blame onto us.
He made us go after Okumura, then once we triggered the change of heart, he killed him. And he told us he had seen the true culprit, but it was him.
The whole time he was working with Makoto's sister, he was really just some homicidal maniac. Come on, we gotta take that bastard Akechi down. Isn't that recording we got enough?
No, Akechi is merely a tool. His orders come from elsewhere. The unimaginable fiend capable of arranging the murder of a suspect inside of a police station.
Unless we find out who that is, we will continue being targeted even if we defeat Akechi.
But what means do we have of...
We'll have to make Akechi say it. Though once we do, that mastermind will likely eliminate us.
I think that will be the case eventually, regardless of whether or not we learn his... The only reason it hasn't happened yet is because we're an easy target to blame for his... If he realizes that's no longer possible and abandons that plan, he may opt to kill us immediately.
Damn it! So we don't got a choice but to go with that bastard's suggestion.
But if we go into the palace like we're told, he'll get arrested and...
Palace. The palace.
Actually, there's something I'd like to...
Aha! We can use the palace to our advantage!
What's this all about?
There's a way to get past Akechi and get the mastermind to lay off of us, all while learning his identity.
Really?
You gotta be kidding me!
If he wants to kill the guy, why not let him? That is, inside of a palace.
Yes, we could have him kill the cognitive version, all the while believing he killed the real one.
Yeah, that's it!
It seems that's our only option. Listen close, everyone. I have a plan for how we can carry the...
Ever since the death of their teenage leader, the Phantom Thieves have fought. However, the police intend on continuing this investigation until the case is fully...
I'm sorry I'm late. I had to finish a few things at work. Where are they?
Waiting upstairs. Go tell them to come on down. I'm gonna fetch him.
You're... her sister, correct?
Makoto told me everything. Futaba-chan, I'm sorry that I caused you so much trouble this past...
It's ancient history now.
Man, that goddamn
Look who's here.
Hey, you big bastard!
How've you been? You're not floating.
It truly is a relief to see your face.
I bet that moron Akechi don't even know we tricked him yet.
Still, how'd you pull this off? Isn't this guy considered dead?
You weren't told anything? I heard my sister brought him here, though.
Yeah, she came over in a taxi, dumped him off, and... It was right after they announced he had died, too. Almost gave me a heart attack.
I didn't have time to explain.
Hey, shouldn't we tell boss what really happened?
We wanted to make our enemy believe the leader of the Phantom Thieves.
What?
What we did was make that enemy kill his fake in the metaverse.
Enemy? Fake?
The true culprit behind all these incidents set us up. Our goal here was to determine their identity.
True culprit? I see. So you guys were going up against...
It was Goro Akechi. You knew beforehand that he was the traitor, didn't you?
Akechi himself gave us the chance to strike. He made one fatal mistake.
Couldn't you have just said from the beginning that Akechi was the real culprit?
That wasn't something we could simply bring up. We couldn't have you suspect Akechi. Besides, neither you nor the other investigators would have believed something like that, would you?
True. Akechi was credited with the arrest of the Phantom Thieves. Not even I would think he was the culprit. In other words, you left him alone on purpose. That was a bold...
God, I can't keep up with any of this. So what was this mistake Akechi made?
He slipped up in regards to Morgana's voice.
You mean a cat?
Yes, Morgana can talk.
Sorry, was that supposed to be a joke?
Oh, our apologies. You surprised?
Does that mean he said something just now as well?
But you don't understand him, do you? That's how it was for all of us at first, too.
When you're in the metaverse, Mona talks like a normal person. Once you hear that and your brain realizes he can actually talk, you start to understand him in reality. It's a change in cognition, most likely.
Thanks to Akechi's lame acting, we figured out something was up.
When we talked to Akechi at the school festival, he was acting like he just realized Mona could, but we already saw him drop a mega hint about it way earlier.
Oh, I know a place! I want to go to that huge pancake-looking place we passed on the way here!
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious
Mona was the only one who was talking. That meant Akechi'd already been in the metaverse by then.
And since he was lying to us about that, we assumed he had a hidden motive behind contacting us.
It seemed odd upon further thought. His reaction to my pancake comment was... He did approach us when we found ourselves in the worst trouble yet.
That's why we asked Futaba-chan to wiretap his phone.
I pretended to be interested in checking the phone out, but I was actually planting my ass. My heart was pounding while I was doing it, though.
Even that ace detective could never have imagined a program being installed so quick. Futaba's quirky nature proved to be a great help.
That was just an act! After a few days of listening, this confirmed his betrayal.
Then I'll guide the police into her palace and have them catch the Phantom Thieves in the act. That would be the only way to arrest them, given their methods. Let me see. We could say he stole the guard's gun and committed suicide during his imprisonment. Public security questioning will occur on the first day. And with that room, my task will be simple.
Is this for real?
Yes, the guard will be one of ours. We'll have to eliminate him after to destroy...
So they planned to get rid of that guard from the beginning.
Well then, I will make the arrangements the day after the arrest. And thus, the dangerous criminal responsible for the mass mental shut. When he does, you will become a great hero who saved Japan from evil.
I knew he was acting strangely, but to think he was this far gone.
He's no ace detective. Akechi is the perpetrator behind the mental shutdown crime.
On top of that, there's someone else commanding Akechi. Someone with great authority. So great that they can... That's why we had to make a move before they did. We baited Akechi into Sis's palace, making him dispose of our leader's fake, but think he killed him. Can you elaborate on that in more detail? What exactly happened in my...
We're sorry for using you without your permission. Your palace had all the conditions we needed.
What conditions?
First, we required a place inside the cognitive world that was the same as in reality.
That place is based on the real world after all. Anywhere that's not warped looks just like normal.
That's why nobody but the person who uses the nav even realizes they're in the metaverse.
Back with Kamoshida, we came in from the station without even noticing. You totally can't tell the difference if there ain't any distortions around.
We had already investigated Nijima-san's palace when Makoto brought the suggestion to us.
I was seriously impressed by that suggestion. To be honest, I didn't quite understand it, but I went along with it. Yeah, it's good we have her heading up our operations.
Makoto is normally so calm as well, but once her mind is set, she gets oddly impulsive.
I did have a bit of a rivalry forming with Akechi, but I just couldn't contain myself anymore once you became... The reason I joined the Phantom Thieves was to heal you.
My own achievements were all that mattered to me. I was desperate. I'm sorry I couldn't see that.
That goes for the both of us. We heard from Mako-chan that you were going to do the interrogation, Nijima.
And regarding its location, I take it you used the data from my lap...
I'm sorry. There were two things we were able to confirm while we were checking the metaverse. First, our clothes didn't change when we were down in the interrogation room. Second, the scenery and details outside of the palace proper were the same as in the real world.
Once we heard that from Makoto, we secretly went to check it out without Akechi knowing.
There was also one more thing we absolutely... A perfect cognitive replica of him in the metaverse's interrogation room.
Since he had yet to be caught, though, there obviously wouldn't be anyone in that room.
Once we saw the casino guests and police officers, we were convinced this would work. They looked no different from actual living people.
After that, we just had to work our way into the palace like usual, while keeping Akechi in the dark.
Everything went as planned up until we defeated Sissus. However, it was then that we were met with it. As a result, even though we managed to grab the treasure, except that was all an act. We had prepared an empty briefcase beforehand and merely acted like we were taking the treasure. This was because we knew the police would be coming.
We made sure before the operation that the police would be waiting to... And just as expected, he totally took the...
Him getting captured by the police went exactly how we planned it.
And I had been interrogating him with no knowledge of this. But how did you lure Akechi into this cognitive worlds and...
All I needed were the coordinates.
Akechi disposed of the fake in the palace and left thinking he had been victorious. It must have been truly hilarious for our leader who sat idly in the real world's interrogation room. Surely he was acting quite cocky by himself in that quiet chamber.
So that's why you gave me your phone. I only took it because of what you told me.
It's a shame I didn't have the opportunity to see that.
All I could do was try to handle all the messages that started coming to me on his phone. So in other words, I've been to the metaverse, albeit for a brief moment.
In our experience, there is little danger when someone enters their own palace for...
That's the other reason we had him give it to you. We needed you to listen to Alibaba, deceive the guard, and ultimately aid in his... By having you head back to the interrogation room, we could return you to the real world as well.
I mean, I had to think of some way to keep you from running into Akechi mid-assassination.
I hadn't the slightest idea that such a grand operation was taking place within...
I'm so glad he was able to persuade you during the... Even though we knew Akechi's plan, we were pretty worried about that part.
What?
Without Sis on our side, Futaba's plan and subsequent breakout would have never been possible. That persuasion was easily our greatest gamble. We couldn't consult Sis beforehand. It was absolutely the make or break moment of...
Still, I'm surprised you could convince me in such a short time. I see. Either way, I can't believe you went for such a risky idea.
If we could just tell you the true culprit's plan, I knew you'd realize that our leader was telling the truth, and that there was a greater evil to...
As a result, we emerged victorious.
Then the reason you kept this a secret from me was so you could catch the true culprit, correct?
Yes. Plus,
This is stunning.
I've kind of figured out that you guys made Akechi, but what did you do about the body?
The police never even checked it.
Huh?
They had a coroner working to ensure his death was reported as a suicide. That coroner didn't take one look at the scene and just passed along a falsified death.
The bad guys have that much influence?
Murder in a police station would be reckless otherwise.
Thanks to Futaba-chan's messages and the guard's demeanor, I eventually came to understand. And since the higher-ups at the police knew nothing of this, they were thrown into disarray. As a result, his suicide during imprisonment was reported on the news.
And with that confusion, he was able to escape with Nijima-san's help.
I made sure nobody would check the morgue for his body, and thanks to that...
Thinking back to the interrogation, though, I can't believe what they did to him. The callous use of violence, and even drugs is utterly abnormal. If he had lost consciousness and hadn't been able to tell Sis about the phone, I'm truly glad you made it back.
Don't. You shouldn't have to remember such things.
It still freaked me out when I saw the suicide on the news, though.
We made sure to live normal lives while he was being interrogated, so even with that, I couldn't help but worry for—
Well, I knew right away that her plan was—
I wanted to believe, but considering what we...
Ryuji's a bit on the dense and carefree side.
Can it, cat?
I had to be patient and avoid this place until things settled down. I finally...
We knew he was alive, but it was difficult to not worry.
Now that I think about it, my interrogation was just a formality for— What a joke, letting me interrogate someone who is meant to die. Very well. From here forward, You saved me, after all.
That's reassuring.
I'll do whatever I can to help too. Just let me know. Let's take a break for now, though. Oh, and feel free to use the first floor when you guys want to get together to talk. You'll need a hideout where you can be safe. Just say the word, and I'll close shop.
Are you sure?
This guy can't leave. Plus, you won't make much progress if people can hear you from downstairs. It's not like this place is the liveliest joint in town.
Let us accept his offer. What a great...
That sounds familiar.
It's me.
Enter.
That's the death certificate of the principal offender, correct?
No, not more importantly, you.
The cause of death for the SIU director has been settled.
I had him work quite substantially on forging evidence. His loss should be mourned.
It was thanks to his efforts that I could enter the Phantom Thieves.
The SIU is in disarray with his death.
At any rate, I'm now praised as a hero.
All possible hindrances are now gone. This.
And on to our next story, the snap election for the House of Representatives. Discussion is swirling around potential nominees as the deadline for candidacy announced. Candidates will announce on the 23rd of this month, while voting will be held on the 18th of...
Elections, huh? Don't matter to us.
Why don't we resume our conversation?
Well, the Phantom Thieves are back together. We can finally take it to a...
Have you figured out who's behind?
Akechi accidentally let that slip after he said, Shido-san.
Shido? Feels like a...
He is unmistakably a man of power if he has such strong...
Shido? Could it be Masayoshi Shido?
I believe he's a politician. Remember Ryuji? You said his speech...
For real?
It's certainly possible that Shido is the man.
Huh?
Do you have some kind of evidence?
Nothing material. However, there are very... First, he would profit from damage done to the current administration by the psychotic. He's maintained a negative stance toward the Phantom Thieves and has gained tremendous... On top of that, he'll most likely become the next Prime Minister.
No!
Did he set us up with that?
If he is behind all this, that would be in stark opposition to his...
So his current position and popularity is just him. We'll make him have a change of heart, no matter... Mom.
Shido, huh?
What is the matter?
I had a feeling he was wrapped up in all this. Just based on the connections I had from my previous... I think the one who crushed Wakaba's research and confiscated her materials was probably Sheep from the moment Wakaba died. But there wasn't anything I could do, so I chose to protect Futaba.
Why didn't you say that sooner?
You guys would have definitely gone after him if I had. He would have just killed all of you, no doubt. That's what he usually does to people who get in his way.
Originally, I was looking into the mental shutdown cases. It was then that I accidentally stumbled upon government research. So I tracked down the whereabouts of that research data and met with the associated party. Boss was one of those parties. I would never have imagined all of this was the mental shutdowns, psychotic breakdowns, Shido, and even...
Way back when, Shido kept saying he was going to be Prime Minister one day.
What's going to happen to this country if Shido becomes prime?
The issue is simpler. This is nothing more than yet another selfish adult trying to impose his...
We gotta expose that rotten bastard!
Yeah, we'll do it like always. Then let's check the nav.
Masayoshi Shido, the guy running for Prime Minister. Got a hit! Well...
Where would the location be?
What kind of things go through a...
I always think of dirty money and shady...
What does he do? And where? We don't got a clue.
His palace must be somewhere that politicians frequent.
Talk about...
Perhaps it's the diet bill?
We got a hit!
How arrogant must he be to see himself as the ruler of the diet building?
Our next target's the big shot politician Masayoshi Shido. No need to waste time with him, we just gotta hit... Nobody against it?
Of course!
He will be a worthy opponent.
Let's win this together.
Time for revenge!
Then it's unanimous.
All we gotta do now is figure out what he thinks that diet building place is.
So that's the app that allowed me to enter the metaverse.
An old fart like me can't wrap his head around all this.
We'll have to deal with this before Election Day, December 18th. That means we need it done by the 7th.
It's best we hurry before they discover there's no body in the morgue.
Should we start tomorrow then? We can meet at the diet building after school.
That reminds me, what are you gonna do about school? You can't show up if...
Miss Kawakami said he went back home for family reasons.
That's what I told the school.
Don't let him find out you're alive then, alright? This whole thing would be for nothing.
What do you mean?
This operation had another purpose outside of escaping Akechi's. Shido tried to place all the blame on the Phantom Thieves, and he has ruined countless lives. And even made Goro Akechi, a mere change of heart is too lenient a sentence for such an abominable... We'll be making use of the police statement that the leader of the Phantom Thieves committed suicide. Our leader, who is presumed dead, will come out of hiding to deliver a grand statement. He'll say he has escaped prison, not committed suicide, and was in fact almost killed by a criminal.
Everyone's gonna flip.
You guys thought through all this stuff too?
We're intellectuals, you know.
That's why you needed such a daring trick as getting captured and appearing to be killed. What frightening...
But the true battle has only won the first round, but we must stay on our...
Yeah, this ain't the time to be celebrating.
These people tried to trap and kill us. There is no end to their inhuman We will need to be prepared for whatever may come our...
I finally made it this far.
Back then, you earned the media's attention as a young politician who could rise. Because of that, those who wanted to preemptively deal with problems...
To think I would fall for the ruse schemed by those... I recall that's when you came to me. You promoted yourself if it wasn't for the research on cognition that I dabbled in.
I made those troublesome opponents psychotic, and erased any trace of that scandal.
Who'd think that tampering with a person's heart could trigger a psychotic lapse or mental shutdown? And when someone like that said he'd support me, I had suspected there'd be an ulterior motive.
It's because I sympathized with your aspiring ideology. I believed that your ideals needed to be achieved for the sake of the...
Well, my faith in you was precisely why I only need you using that power. It'd be troublesome if someone else uncovered...
Wakaba Ishiki, was it? That researcher. She wouldn't have had to die if she...
Any suspicions should be snubbed out. Even this... After all, we had an active public prosecutor's office director on our side until recently.
Astounding, isn't it? To think the director himself often forged evidence to He was quite surprised when you confronted him about it. Well, I got that out of his shadow, so technically speaking, he did it himself.
This country's affairs have the political world is filled with old men who only act to preserve their own. The general public has forsaken such political affairs and
I must.
There's no need to be ruined along with such incompetent fools. Those who get in the way must be eliminated at times. That's the correct way.
Still, it would stand out if there were continuous deaths, and which is why I made them suspects. Prosecute the targets that I turn psychotic, and solve them as cases unrelated to you. And thus, the charismatic ace.
Thanks to your efforts, my clean image remains untarnished, and I've monopolized public opinion. Once I gained public sentiment, the police were no exception. With their management in my pocket.
When the Phantom Thieves emerged, I thought things might become somewhat troublesome.
And they were just brats once we looked into it.
When you told me that, I knew then that you were the better.
Their popularity was a bit beyond my expectations. But flipping it made the negative press strong. After that, all I had to do was openly berate them. The current administration is dead with ongoing scandals. Never mind the fact that they're my doing. Even the government parties have begun splitting up, and they're dissolved. The time has finally come. However, inauguration isn't my goal. That's when everything truly begins. I'll make this country rich for the sake of its selfish and ignorant masses who can only...
In other words, you're creating a powerful country that...
The public resonates with my ideals, and for that, some sacrifices can't. That is my duty as the... Your assistance has been very influential, and when I become Prime Minister, I'll grant what...
With this most recent case, my name has become known across the country, perhaps even the world. Surely my story will be passed down as a hero who won against monsters. I believe I'll lay low and devote myself to my studies.
I suppose with your age, you wouldn't come up with...
I am thinking about the future, though.
Well, how do I put this?
Well then.
Hey,